Hi, welcome to this edition of OnTap, presented by FCSI of the Americas. I'm Wade Kaler, Executive Director. OnTap this week, we get to turn the tables on the FCSI America staff. Today, I have the pleasure of welcoming to the hot seat, my right hand, the talk me off the ledge staff member of FCSI. She's been dreading this interview since she doesn't like being in the spotlight and doesn't like it on her for sure. But trust me when I tell you, if anyone can handle the spotlight, this lady can. She's been working with me in Forte Association Management Company and FCSI of the Americas for over 8 years and currently serves as Director of Membership for FCSI of the Americas. Please welcome to the show, Miss Penny Price. Hi, Penny.
Hi, Wade. How are you?
Good. Welcome to the show.
I'm so mad at you. So mad at you.
Just remember the membership wanted this, and being director, being the director of membership or member services, we're just giving the membership what they wanted and what they asked for.
I'm always thinking about how I'm going to get you back for this, so just know that.
Well, at some point, I have to be in the hot seat as well, so I'm sure at some point as well, you're going to get a chance to get revenge, and I'm really I'm more scared about that than you are of doing the show. Oh, I know. So before we get started, tell us a little bit specifically about what you're responsible for FCSI of the Americas.
Okay, so I'm the Director of Membership, so I welcome new members, process applications, talk to people who are interested in becoming a member of FCSI, and I also work with the event planning staff, so helping to organize and plan our educational events.
And you've got a pretty interesting background. You didn't come from association management before you joined me. You've got a pretty varied history of working with some pretty high profile type jobs. So tell us a little bit about your amazing backstory and some of your experiences leading up to this.
Okay. So I started my career as a teacher. I went to college and earned a degree in elementary education with an endorsement in junior high language arts and literature. So that was the plan. I was going to be a junior high teacher. I did that for I taught for a few years at different levels. I started actually teaching college, which was weird. Right out of college, I got my first job teaching English and, of all things, public speaking, which right now is shocking that I would have taught anybody how to do that. But so public speaking English at a business college, and that was actually a really great job. I loved that job. I was able to teach curriculum and not deal with behavior issues and discipline, which is stuff that's what I'm really bad at. That's why I didn't make a very good language arts junior high teacher. I was much better at teaching adults. So I did that for a year. We moved around a little bit when we were first married. So then I taught at different schools, kind of subbing, trying to figure out where I wanted to end up and what I wanted to do. And ultimately ended up teaching for a year, 7th and 8th grade language arts and literature. And it was a rough year. It was a really rough year. I decided at the end of that year that I probably wasn't cut out to be a junior high teacher. So I decided I was just going to take that summer off. And in the back of my head, I thought I wanted to do some type of production work on commercial sets or television sets. We were living in the Chicago area at the time. So I thought, for this summer, I'll just go into the city every day and volunteer my time on sets and kind of learn the different things I could do and what the options are in that field. And so that was the goal. I reached out to somebody who I knew had done that and asked him kind of like, how do I get started doing that? And he called me in for an interview, actually not even an interview, just to sit down and talk to me about what I needed to do to get my foot in the door. And then he called me that night and he said, we actually do have an opening at my company and I think you'd be really good at it. Are you interested? And at that time, I didn't know what he did. I thought he was a production assistant on commercial sets in Chicago. So he asked me if I was interested, and I said, well, what's the name of the company? And he said, well, it's not really a production job necessarily. It's just kind of being a personal assistant and helping out in all areas for our production company. And it would be personal assistant to writer, director, producer John Hughes, which at the time I knew John had done some great movies. I probably couldn't have named them all. And then I did a little bit of research and I was like, yeah, I think I'm kind of interested in this position. So I went in and I interviewed with him, and I interviewed with that initial person that I spoke to, and then I interviewed with his manager, who was a producer of John's films at that time, and then ultimately had an appointment to go down to the house and interview with John and his wife. And they hired me on the spot, and I was there for several years, and I have all kinds of fun stories about the years at Hughes Entertainment. So.
Yeah. So if you don't mind, indulge us with just a couple of the stories. I've heard a lot of them over the years, but just a couple of the stories that are your favorite dealing with John and his wife. Because I know you have some really fond memories of stuff. So
I do. Yeah. I loved them dearly. They were both extremely generous, kind, wonderful people. And I miss them, and they've both since passed away. And it's a tremendous loss. And so maybe people don't know exactly who John is, but you definitely know all of his movies, all the vacation movies, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club,
Home Alone,
Mr. Mom, Home Alone. Yeah. Any big movie in the 80s, if you were a teenager in the 80s, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, any of those big movies, John was a part of it. Yeah. And he just was an amazing storyteller. And so I think that's like my most treasured memory from the time I spent there, was just the conversations that I had with John. And he would call, and you always knew if he called, because he didn't come into the office. He worked from home, and wrote in the late night hours. So we didn't see him a lot. But he would call me, and I always knew when he was calling that it was going to be a 2-hour phone call. Because he just wanted to tell stories, and when he felt like being chatty, sometimes it was hard to get him at those times when he really wanted to share. But he would call and just chat for 2 hours and tell the best stories. Yeah. So that's probably my favorite memory of my time there, is the conversations that I had with John. But we also had a lot of fun. Traveled with them a few times. Probably my favorite memory is we were in New York, happened to be in New York during the Grammy Awards, and happened to be in LA during the Academy Awards. He wasn't going to either of those events. We just happened to be in there at the same time, or in town at the same time. And we stayed at great hotels and we went to great restaurants. So if you're in those cities during those big events, you see a lot of, celebrities in the wild in their natural habitat, which is always a lot of fun. So I've bumped into quite a few
very nice,
interesting people. Yeah.
In a less glamorous world, you work for me now, and your first day working for me was on a flight to a conference planning meeting in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, it was.
And we went through those 2 days of planning, and at that point, we were kind of reorganizing the way we planned conferences, the way the flow was and everything. So there was a lot of conversations about change and everything else. What was going through your mind those first few days after we got back from Phoenix about this new chapter in your life?
Well, I was excited. I was definitely excited. It was fun. And the people that we met on the conference planning committee were very welcoming. And I was like, okay, this will work out. This will be good. These are good people. And you and I clicked right away. I mean, even in our interview, it was kind of, I don't know, we just became fast friends. And so it was easy and not intimidating. And I just felt like part of the team right away. I was a little nervous that my first day was a travel day, getting through the airport and kind of the chaos and trying not to make a fool of myself and all of that. But it was fun. I was excited.
My biggest memory was sitting next to you on the plane on the way out there, and I started a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. I won't say the title, but I had no idea what the movie's about or what it was like. And I realized about 15 minutes in, there was a lot of inappropriate language and nudity. And I had to shut it down very quickly because I had no idea that it was that way. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got a brand new female employee sitting next to me, and I'm watching a movie that's completely inappropriate for me to be watching on a plane nonetheless, but on a plane with a new employee sitting next to me. And I thought, well, if she survived that and didn't, quit or fire me or sue me, I'm in probably pretty good shape. So
yeah, I think you're lucky that you are also your own HR department.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
That's one way to avoid a lot of complaints.
You've been with FCSI now for a little over 8 years. Tell me, what are some of the couple of the highlights you've got, best memories of FCSI thus far?
Yeah, I think definitely the events that we plan, the event planning process is a lot of fun. Working with the committee and kind of creating the family atmosphere that is FCSI and bringing that to everybody. And I don't think people realize that it takes a long time to plan those events. And so a lot goes into it. And then when we get to see it all come together, obviously that's probably my favorite part. That's probably my favorite part of FCSI.
Is there a particular certain event or a certain part of a conference or thing that you remember as being better than others, or maybe your favorite memory?
I think my favorite event was Nashville.
I agree, and I would say that to this day, one of the things that probably most is mentioned to me as one of attendees' favorite events still was the closing party at the listening room, of which you had a very big part of, actually, at the very end.
I did.
Most people don't realize that night we actually drug you out of the crowd and got you up on stage with Kathy Peterson to sing along with the singer-songwriters, which was actually a lot of fun. And I think what the beauty of that is, people always love to see staff getting out of our comfort zone or whatever it might be. And so for them, you became a different human that night because you weren't just Penny, the person that's on staff that's running the events and everything else. You became Penny, the human that was actually very embarrassed and had to be dragged up on stage. But then once you got up there, you guys killed it. So I think that was a lot of fun for not only you, but for everybody else.
So Kathy killed it. Let's be clear. Thank God Kathy was there. I dragged Kathy up there. I didn't have to drag her because she's a natural performer. Like, she's amazing. But I happened to look over and I saw her there and I was like, oh, she can get me through this. So I pulled her up there with me and she was amazing. And that was so much fun. And honestly, I hate I love to sing karaoke, but we do it in the basement. I actually have a professional karaoke system in my basement, and I'm not good at all. I'm a horrible singer. It's just a lot of, I love music. So it's just a lot of fun with friends to come down here and sing. But I didn't want to do that when they dragged me up there. And I think I walked off stage. I think I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave Kathy here, let her do it. I'm going to go. And I got down to the bottom of the steps and I was like, when am I ever going to have the chance to sing on a Nashville stage? With these amazing singer-songwriters who are incredible. So then I walked back up and I was like, I need to take advantage of this. This is fun. So,
I agree. And like I said, you're being very humble, but you killed it as well. And I will tell you that that's the one time, not the first time, and it certainly was not the last time that you threatened to kill me as well, because you were very angry with me for getting you involved with that as well. And you kind of just alluded to it, so I'm going to ask you to have to name something different. But what's one thing about Penny Price that no one would ever guess?
Well, I used to be a DJ, a radio DJ.
A radio DJ for what type of music channel?
Well, in high school and college, I worked a little bit for kind of like an easy listening adult contemporary station. And then when my son was 2 years old, I was a stay-at-home mom for many years. And I just always liked to have different things to do that were kind of like my own thing. So I was like, I'll go back and see if I can get a job on the radio. And so then I went to WBNQ in Bloomington, is a medium market top 40 station. And they hired me to do just like a weekend shift. So I just would come in on Sunday mornings and do that shift until it started to be an automated program. And then I left.
Nice.
But I absolutely hate any kind of performance or, like this right now today is completely out of my comfort zone. I'm not, this is not good. But on the radio, no one can see you, and it's very anonymous, and so it's a little bit different. But that was fun.
Well, I went out to some of our members that have known you for the years, and I asked them what they thought about Penny or what their opinions or memories of you. So if you don't mind, I'd like to read through some of these. So
okay.
From Stephanie Gilbert, and I'm going to quote all of these so I don't get them wrong. Penny is the calm in the storm of what can oftentimes be the craziest of association management in our industry. She makes her work, which is in part of the advocacy, support, and steering of all of us as consultants and allied members, seem effortless. And that's a daunting task, to say the least. She's appreciated beyond measure and will always be a member of the food service and hospitality industry family. Ed Norman, when talking with Penny, I'm always wondering, what is she thinking? I feel that I can read people well, but not Penny. She always leaves me guessing. Kristen today said, Penny's positive attitude, professionalism, comprehension of our association and membership, as well as her fun spirit, make her a valuable asset to FCSI. Any event is not the same without Penny. Tracy Tarasky said, Penny is a lovely lady that makes being involved with FCSI, the Americas, so wonderful and easy. She's always on top of things and takes so much burden off us as committee volunteers. I truly appreciate her hard work and dedication to our organization. Eric Norman said, I've had the opportunity to work closely with Penny throughout my time as a volunteer on the FCSI board. Penny is one of the nicest and most genuine people I've ever met. She's willing to help out and assist with whatever task is at hand and is a great asset to FCSI. In getting to know Penny better, I found out that her sense of humor and laugh is contagious. I look forward to continuing to work with her for the years to come. And finally, Christine Guillot said, well, honestly, she scares me a little. She is so perfectly put together and poised in all situations. Never a wrong word or even a little ruffled. How can that be? Did you AI her as the perfect Forte employee? I really appreciate her unflappability and her organization. She has always been welcoming, friendly, and approachable. I've never heard anyone have anything but praises to sing about her. Thank you, Penny, for all your behind-the-scenes work and for putting up with Wade. What does that mean to you when you've got volunteers of an association you work for?
I can't, I'm about to cry. I can't even believe that. Those names, those people that you reached out to are incredible. And the fact that they feel that way, I'm completely flattered and grateful. And I'm not mad at you anymore for making me do this because that was totally worth it. That is very special. I appreciate that a lot.
Well, we talk about the rose-colored glasses of Penny, and that's been a thing for a while. And I think that's why I've said, you're my right hand, you're my talk me off the ledge person, because you always see things in a much better light than I do. I kind of go to the dark side a lot quicker, and maybe the cursing side of things a little bit easier. But you're usually able to talk me off of that. Even my wife was like, you would be a disaster without Penny around. So thank God she's around for you. Because she said, if you didn't have her, I would probably kill you. So if somebody's interested in getting involved with FCSI, or becoming a member or something of that nature, what is your recommendation? What's your advice to them to get involved, and how do they become, let's say, a better member actually of FCSI?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing to do is just give me a call. Call me at FCSI headquarters or send me an email at penny@fcsi.org. And we'll just talk about it. We'll talk about where you are currently in your role and what the qualifications are for FCSI membership and where you fit into that. That would be the first step. And then for people who are already a member, if you're feeling like you're not getting the most value out of your membership, come to some events. That's key. And you'll just start to meet people that you can collaborate with, people you can talk to and learn from. I think that is the biggest benefit of your FCSI membership is networking with your industry peers. So
I completely agree. And I also think that, and one of the things I've told people in the past that I absolutely love about you and Amy, who we also interview this season and such, and I know myself, is if you're new and you've never been to an FCSI event, I don't care whether you're a consultant, you're an allied member, whatever it might be. If you don't know a lot of people in the room, come talk to one of us. We're the easiest ones to talk to in the room.
Sure.
And we'll walk you around the room, introduce you to people. I've seen you do it 1,000 times over. I know Amy has not had the opportunity yet, but she's got the personality to do it. I am happy to do it when I've got the time to be able to get around the room with somebody. And I agree with you. Becoming involved is where you get the most out of your membership. If you're just going to join to get magazines and newsletters and such, you won't enjoy it nearly as much as you would if you don't come to an event.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all the formal questions I've got today. But as you know, we've got to have some would you rather questions at the end.
Oh, geez. Okay. I thought I was out of the woods here.
No. And I intentionally kept these off the server so you and Amy could not see these beforehand. So these are all going to be brand new for you.
That's funny because I almost went in and searched for them. And then I was like, no, because then when he opens it, he's going to see that the document was last opened and he's going to know he didn't open it then. He's going to know I cheated. So I didn't.
Well, I'm proud of you that you didn't go do it. And even if you would have, you wouldn't be able to find it.
I wouldn't have found them.
So let's just dive right into them. The first one is, would you rather have the ability to move things with your mind or the ability to read minds?
Oh, I don't want to read anybody's mind. No, I don't want to know. I'll move stuff telepathically. That's fine.
Especially working for me, right? You don't want to read minds.
I don't want to know what people are thinking, honestly.
Yeah. Would you rather be forced to sing along or to dance to every single song you hear?
Oh, I want to do both.
Okay.
I would probably want to sing along.
Okay. Would you rather be chronically underdressed or chronically overdressed?
Oh, I don't know. Lately underdressed. I spent a lot of time in leggings and sweatshirts.
Would you rather have universal respect or unlimited power?
Oh, respect. Yeah.
Would you rather never be able to go out during the day or never be able to go out during the night?
I feel like I'm more of a night person, but I don't necessarily want to be going out at night. I like to be up and doing stuff, but not necessarily outside of my house. So I would need to be able to go out during the day.
Okay. Would you rather lounge by the pool or lounge on the beach?
Beach.
Would you rather wear the same socks for a month or the same underwear for a week?
Socks.
So you went too early because immediately you weren't going to do the socks till you heard the rest.
I'm not a fan of wearing either more than one day, but if I had to, I'd rather wear my socks more.
Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house?
The haunted house, I think. I'm not a big outdoorsy person.
Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page or bite your tongue every time you eat?
What? That is a horrible question. Both are awful. Wait, every single time I eat, I'm biting my tongue?
Yes.
And every single time I turn a page for the rest of my life, all of my days?
Yes.
I guess a paper cut. I don't know.
Would you rather sip aviation gin with Ryan Reynolds or shoot tequila with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. We would have a blast. Yeah, Ryan. I love The Rock also, don't get me wrong, but Ryan Reynolds would be a lot of fun.
All right. Would you rather have skin...
Is that happening? Are we doing that? Wait, are we doing that? Is that happening?
I don't know if I can pull that event off.
We're going to Canada.
Yeah, we are. We can.
But we're going to Canada. Maybe we can get him there.
And Ryan is taking a break from acting, so he's going to have some bored times. Maybe we can get him to come to Montreal.
All right, let's try.
Would you rather have skin that changes colors based on your emotions or tattoos that appear all over your body showing what you did yesterday?
What? Who came up with these questions? Okay, what are my choices? My mood skin, like it's going to change color?
Based on your emotions.
Mood skin or tattoos that show what I did yesterday?
Yeah.
Which is basically like I worked and went to a volleyball game. That's what my tattoos would be.
Every day the tattoos change.
I guess mood skin.
Okay.
Then at least people would know.
That's right. Would you rather be beautiful and stupid or unattractive and a genius?
I'd rather be a genius.
Would you rather only eat pizza for a year or not be able to eat any pizza for 5 years?
I'd rather eat pizza every day for a year.
Would you rather give up cursing forever or give up desserts for 10 years?
I think I could give up desserts.
All right. And the last one for you, would you rather go backstage with your favorite band or be an extra on your favorite TV show?
Be an extra on the TV show.
And which show would that be?
Oh, I don't know.
Any show. Current, past?
Past, it would be Friends then, because that'd be a fun one to be on, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that's all I've got for you today. That wraps up the edition of OnTap, presented by FCSI the Americas. A huge thank you to Penny for joining us today. Our association, FCSI the Americas, would not operate on a daily basis without you being involved. So we definitely appreciate you more than ever. If you enjoyed today's episode, please make sure to subscribe to the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts and turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on any future episodes. But until then, cheers.